Mult Emerit Fulbright Adolf Benza, Columbia University and Bologna University. The Arcogenazio transformation of modern arte fiera, modern painter, modern world, the transformation of the neo-zone from a rhetorical dialectical polemic, the definition of fascism, to the objectification of anatomy, not by theo-hypocrisy, but to techno-hypocrisy and anatomy universal man. When Minister of Foreign Affairs, as a cultural attaché of Moscow, Miroslav Musil, came to, after '93, after the exhibitions of Bences in Washington, Eastern Bloc, came into modern context, seeking capitalists in the modern world to support new regimes of communism. Transformed his father's book in Vienna, Man of Thousand Faces, Many Faces, and Many Qualities, as a hierarchical Semitist of definitions of Diderot, Voltaire's Revolution, it's the Dictionary of Encyclopedia, Nomenclatura. The Musil went to the Pittsburgh Treaty Steels, the Carnegie Mellons, the Andrew Carnegie, then the Fricks, the Morgans, the oil industry, and the uranium industry, and modern steelworks of Autoworks, Pittsburgh, Michigan, Industrial Gary, Indiana, and transformed industrial complex into nomenclature of economic and technological supremacy. But it confiscated real estates, basically, and land. My point is that the cultural attaché, I was doing work for him, paintings. So I archivized and objectified the Cold War history, going into Lichardus, Trajkovsky, and modern world, Iraq, Iran, 2003, 2016, and of course Cold War, modern contemporaneous Syria, and of course Berlusconi and Putin's syndicalism, with even people like Donald Trump are involved. I don't see how Hillary can be so naive. Donald Trump could be easily defeated by his syndical cooperative economics as a fascist, and disposed of. Americans will not vote for a fascist president, even though the background is quadrilateral fascism. Adolf Benza steps to the forefront as a Fulbright and Cooper Union. The union of people and anatomy is not a tegeonomy of Hesiod or Homer's Atreus and Agamemnon polemic. It's a living reality, and it isn't black and white like presidents of American Academy have always dictated me. Bill Lacey, and saying that it's black and white. It's in living all hues and reality, and Optimus optologically universal. My World Congress address in Bologna as a Fulbright Dr.Hc was after painting thousands of paintings in Arcogenazio and history of chirurgy, from Asclepius in Pergamon to the healing SPQR senators, to modern Florida, modern World Senators and Congress, and World Congress address as a new union of doctors of the New World and neutrality. The original is in Hippocratic Oath to the thesis of the definition of fascism, which is in basically the Hegelian understanding for the French Revolution and the real estate estates of not generals Wallenstein, Richelieu, and Robert Speer, but the real estates confiscated from the puppery by the Lutheran history. Modern dialectical history isn't theocratic, meaning in a religious conflict. It's still, but it isn't complete, is that the living anatomy is not a golden section of universal man. Universal man transforms the world because anatomy, anthropis, is explicated. That doesn't leave people like stupid people who claim socialism, like Bernie and Hillary and Donald Trump's. But the real socialists who understand, like Rivera, that anatomy is optologically universal rotundus. It isn't that it's so complicated. Coming out of Cooper Union immigrant vacuum, it doesn't mean if you're Islam, Buddhist, Hindu, or a Ganesh, or Vishnu, or Shiva, or Arriva Pansei, Adelpha Adolphus Magnus Opus, at the doorsteps of good work. It isn't hypocrisy that the encyclopedic rhetoric and the rational reasons for status quo world of injustice when in Florida you have trampled slime and decomposition of oceanic Neptunine terra verde life, aquatorium world is at crisis of man's evil nature. I challenge physics in the Luciferian camouflage and optological concilium to the didacticism that the good virtue wins and transforms the Magnus Opus America into Grand Tier Empire Gallery Classica.